You are now tuning in to Lex and RDDC broadcast station, serving up on the double doses for us all.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Real Double Dose channel. This is your host, Lex, coming to you straight from the heart where the talk is real and the vibe is always live. Thank you for tuning in and being here with us again, because here, serving a slice of everyday life is what RDDC is all about. For any show requests, feedback, or anything under the sun that you can think of, as always, reach out to us at Real Double Dose channel at yandex.com. That's YANDEX.com. And as well as realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com, where you can find all the insights, the updates, and so much more, any disclaimers and the etceteras that you know of, as well as the About Me section and all the links to the books. And you can also, if you're not already, tuning in to TuneIn, Stitcher Radio, Spreaker.com, Blueberry.com, Spotify, Deezer, Google Cast, Podcast Addict, as well as iTunes, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, and more to come, and more out there. You can check out the links at any time you want. We are just happy to have you always tuning and downloading, because this is what we do here. And the feedback that you have all given us so far has been wonderful, and we love it. And we love our guest experts and our guests that come on here to share their stories and to give all of us a slice of their everyday life or the past that they've been through. So we have a wonderful, wonderful guest on here today for the show again, and that is Trey Olds, and is going to be sharing a story and sharing the monumental journey of what's been going on in life. So without further ado, I just want to say, how are you doing, Trey?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm happy to finally get you on here. I know it seems like forever. So, but we've been looking forward to this for a while. Believe it or not, we have been. So, I mean, I'm just really interested, and we're all interested in knowing what's going on with you, my dear. So, can you give us some ketchup to the mustard with that?
Well, I'm a radio show host. I'm an actor. Simple that, but what people are surprised at, that I'm only 19 and I have high-functioning autism. And I've done radio for 6 years. I started when I was 13. So, yeah, it surprises people when I tell them all that. And I guess it should surprise them.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty young age to start.
Yeah, well, I was always interested in comedy, television, radio, so forth. And as I got older, I said, I should give it a try. How hard can it be?
Yeah.
And I met a few friends that were in the radio industry, and they said, well, you know, Trey, you do have a good voice for radio and voiceovers, voiceover acting. You should give that a try. Make a demo tape or share how to get your voice out there, you know? And I started my own radio show with the help of a radio host in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where I lived at the time. And so that's where it began. And for the first 2 years of my show, I was a disc jockey. I just played music and talked a bit and shared stories and so forth. And then in 2015, I transitioned to interview talk radio, where I interview actors, musicians, writers, so forth, you know, all people in the entertainment industry and other industries like journalism and radio broadcasting and so forth. And it's been fun. I enjoy it very much. I interview to this day still. And besides radio, I'm also a stage actor and voiceover actor. I've done some community theater work and a few independent films and for film and animation voice work. So it's been a wonderful career so far, and I hope to continue to work. I'm blessed to do that.
You know, that's a good way and a great way to definitely have opportunities and doors open, as well as being able to follow many of the guidelines of being passionate and focused on what you wanted to do. So, so the beginning of your journey at 13, or obviously it started a lot younger than that, but what made you click to start reaching out to all the things that you were interested in to get it started all the way? Was it more of a, I'm going to try this out and see what happens, or was it, this is meant for me kind of feeling?
Well, at first, I'll try it out, you know, and see if I do good at it. And at first I'm like, well, this is kind of challenging. I don't think so. But once I got into it, once I started doing radio as doing music as a disc jockey, oh, this is fun. And then when I transitioned to interviewing, I'm like, this is meant to be. This is for me. I'm among actors and writers and all that, among people and individuals that share the same interests I have and had growing up.
So at the same time, what has been the most challenging dealing, or has there been anything challenging dealing with people on a certain caliber, with like your celebrity guest experts, or aligning your time with dealing with the level of autism that is within your life?
Well, there's always challenges, but now I'm always up for a challenge, so.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, there's a few challenges. When I first started radio and interviewing, and still to this day, time zones. I get confused with the different.
Oh, I hate time zones. I hate them, especially Eastern Standard and what is it, Pacific Standard? I'm sorry to all you out there. I know you are all over, from Germany to everywhere. We've seen it. But it's very, it's very challenging trying to get your times aligned and try not to be like, where are you at? How many hours are we different? Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
Especially if you interview someone in another country.
Yeah. Yeah, we just had that from Italy and one coming up from Ireland, and that's going to be challenging on itself right there. It's one of those feelings of it. So at the end of the day, what was your journey as far as the autism road? Like, how has it been having to maintain and keep everything aligned with that?
Yeah, well, at first when I was diagnosed when I was 3. My parents always noticed my behavior was a little different. And as I got older, they noticed my behavior kind of got more different. And then I went to a doctor who diagnosed me with high-functioning autism. It's also called Asperger's syndrome. So yeah, and at first, I struggled with it because you always have to adapt to different things. And people with autism, they have a process that they see things differently and a little bit slower. And but I found as I got older, it became more easier. And there's still challenges you have to adapt to and face. You'll always be coping with autism the rest of your life, because it's part of you.
Yeah.
But don't let it control you. You're your own individual.
That is very true. That is very true. I don't know what level my nephew, I know he's I think he'll be about 15 this year. And his autism, he's been having his autism, but at the same time, I say one thing. The autistic world itself, from what I've got a chance to gather from it, is the most creative, the most sublime kind of beautiful things I've seen. And I'm almost like, man, can I get some of that? Like, I mean, like, just the way, it's like he could just paint like Picasso, and it's not even a justification of, if he's doing it, it's just like, this is what I want to do. It's almost like there's no limitation to the things that you're really, really focused upon. And I could be, completely, I'm just saying from what I've got a chance to gather from my nephew growing up in that. It was just almost like if he saw it, that's what it was. There's no, I can't, there's no, that he was just like, this is what it is. This is what's going to happen. And this is what I've done. Like, this is what I'm sorry. But I mean, it's amazing your journey and your story and the way you're still going and proceeding on. And this is before the age of 20. Most people have this understanding of not even, I mean, the only thing they can think of is party hardy, drink Bacardi. It's kind of like, oh my God, I'm almost 20. Let me just go ahead and just waste another 5 years thinking I'm in the college life. That's what it is. Did you feel any kind of difference at all? Like was there any difference between before you were diagnosed, or did you feel there was something, everyone feels a little off from the next person, but did you feel there was something in yourself that was different from other people before your diagnosis, or?
Yeah, I always felt I was different than the other kids or other individuals. Not that I was strange. I just felt different. I was always inside a lot, listening to the radio or watching the television, and the other kids, they were outside, playing sports and all that. And I didn't have an interest in that. And as I got older, other intriguing things I found. I was always an inside person, and I was always into. When I was in school, we had a theater program and a painting program. I was very creative. And like you said, a lot of people with autism, they have a very creative passion. Uh-huh. And so, yeah, I always knew I was different, but I didn't let it bother me. And along the way, I did make friends, and I was never really bullied. People learned to see me the way I am. They say, well, I'm a cool guy, So I was never really bullied or didn't really have a difficult time, I adapted, and if something bothers me, I ignore it and let it pass me by. I'm happy. I go with the flow.
Yeah, the flow and ease of life. Life is difficult enough. We don't need to make it more complicated than what it. If we don't need to make it more complicated, we definitely don't need to make it more complicated as far as that goes. So, as far as everything else goes, what did your regimen become in order for you to feel like you had more control over this diagnosis that was placed upon you at the time? Was there a strict kind of routine that you kept your mind focused in to be like, hey, I'm not going to play into this, what the typical, statistics are, the norm of what they think a person in my category or dealing with this certain symptom. I call it a side effect of different things that happen to us in life. Was yours just mostly a focus, or what was that overall perspective?
Well, I stayed positive, and that's one of my goals in life. You always have to stay positive. And when I was diagnosed, the doctor who diagnosed me told my parents, don't treat him any different. Treat him as everyone else, so treat me like everyone else is treated, and I think that's what helped. They always encouraged me to do what my heart, what I want to do. If I wanted to be an actor, pursue that, or if I wanted to be something else, pursue that. And so my parents, they understood, and they helped me, and they still do to this day, and I'm very proud of that. And staying positive, as I said, and don't let anything deter you, and if you're up for a challenge, go for it like I am.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, and you always have to cope with your autism. I know a difficulty and challenge for me is loud noise, very loud noise. Okay. I remember I had to go to this convention. This was many years ago, not long, but a few years, where there's this convention, and it was just loud rock and roll music, just loud, and I didn't want to be there. I didn't like it, and through that day, I learned to cope with it and adjust to it. I preferred not to be there, but I had to be there, and but I just ignored it and went on with whatever I had to do at the convention. And so there's always things like that, you may not like it, but if you have to do it, do it. But you have to think of something to distract you from the loud noise, or focus on something else positive, and trust me, you'll forget the loud noises there.
So what did the loud noise kind of do for you? Did it just kind of disrupt your whole flow of just feeling calm, or did it do something more irritating as far as like just disturbing you? Or
well, it kind of got me uncalm and kind of rattled me, really. Because I was talking to people, and the loud noise felt like it would get louder as I talked, and it was just interrupting me, and I didn't like that. But
no, I wouldn't blame you.
But as I said, focus on other things, and focus on the reason you're there. If you're interacting with people, focus on that more, and the loud music will go away, and it won't distract you. It's still there, but you can focus your concentration and energy on something more positive.
Oh yeah, definitely. That is very true. I mean, focusing on the positive aspects of everything going on makes it a lot much more easier to keep your streamline and your focus going to where it should be and all the other things. So how has it affected, as far as, I know you're still a young buck, but I'm just saying, has it been okay as far as, like, I mean, as far as streamline, like dating or relationships at all, dealing with it, or?
Well, I'm a people person. I really talk a lot. When I was little, I was very shy, but as I got older, and really the autism has kind of helped me in a way because it steers me in different directions as it wouldn't in other cases, and I'm a very people person. If I see someone, if I go to any event or wherever I'm at in a public place, I talk to people, and sometimes I talk too much. My mom has to pull me away, hey, we have to go. But I get very concentrated and to the person I'm talking to, and I can talk for hours, which I won't do for this interview. But
how did I know you were going to put that out in there? Well, I mean, when you have something to say, sometimes there's no cap to it. I mean, that's the truth.
Absolutely. And another thing is I'm a joker. I like to make people laugh, and that's another part of me being an actor. I like to make people laugh, and especially when I do theater acting, I try to get the funny part, make people laugh. So I'm a very people person and very knowledgeable, very talkative. I help people as much as I can. But then again, I'm also I'm an introvert. I like to be alone. Once, I had a good day outside or in the public, I just like to come home and read a book or draw or watch television or draw, being creative, so. And it's worked for me so far, and I pray it will work for the rest of my life, so.
Yeah, you need to go in and recharge the energy that, I forgot what they call that. I don't know if it's an extrovert or something where you can have the, energy out there and talk to people and move around and get all this, but then you need to shut down and shut off and reiterate and rejuvenate that kind of energy that's been kind of not really lost, but shared and given from what you need. And then you just need that time. Cause I you know what? I guess we're twins, because I'm like, I can't. People will be like, oh, you're so magnetic. You got so much energy. You got this going on. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I mean, like, they could call me about 2 hours later and I'm like, hey, what's going on? What's up? And they're like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, nothing. Are you sad? No. Are you happy? No. I just want to I just want to be by myself right now. I can't even explain it to them. And I have to jump into this mode where they're like, okay, and I'm like, it doesn't have anything to do with the person. It doesn't have anything to really do with yourself. It's what your body needs to function for what you have to do. So I want to ask you, Trey, how did it go to the point of you reaching out or getting in contact with those to start doing or getting in the industry, in the fields that you are now?
Well, it's a team effort, so you can't just do it alone. When I started interviewing people, to contact them, you have to go through their talent agent or publicist or management team. And so, yeah, I have to deal with agents and publicists, which is always fun. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But sometimes some actors who aren't really, I hate to say the word famous or celebrity, because, all actors and individuals I've interviewed, they're all unique and famous in their own way, so I hate to,
yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, but some people who are not very in
super publicized outlet,
yeah, they don't have an agent, or you can just contact them directly, because they'll usually have a website that lists their email or number, or social media these days is wonderful to get interviews. And it's always good when I can cut out the agent, cut out the middleman, because you can get it more to the point, because with an agent you have to say what you have to say to the agent, then the agent has to say to what, it's going back and forth, so just cut the middleman out.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but I don't dislike agents. You know, it's necessary in the business, but it's just it's easier on my part. But yeah, contacting them and then setting up an interview. I've learned that go with the flow and don't be persistent, but don't be over persistent, and don't be bossy, because it's the interviewer and the interviewee. It's two of you, so you have to work with both schedules. You know, you can't say, "Well, I want to do it on a certain time and just that time." That's not the good way to go.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's a team effort. You have to work with each other. And most of my interviews, I've interviewed, I don't know, probably over 150 people by now. I don't.
Wow, that's a lot of
track.
people. Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a long time, but it's been fun, and I still interview. I do. Well, I used to do 3 interviews a week. Then I got ill with some health issues, and about a month ago, I just started back up doing 3 interviews a week. So I'm back in the game. And
oh, well, good. I'm glad you feel better, and we're glad to have you on here with this interview.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, like that whole. You know, I'm gonna just dive on into this agent thing. Okay, so I have a little salt and sugar RDDC family, and those who are new tuning in. I know we've seen spikes of 3,000 plus downloads going on, and the days just going on, going and going. But I hope this agent is listening and not listening. But salt and sugar has to throw it out there. This is not for Trey. This is what Lex has to put out here. But I will say, I do agree what you're saying about the interviewer and the interviewee. You know, you have to have a coordination with each other. And it has to be understanding. But what I've gotten, not from all of them, but there's one particular agent, I don't even remember their name, even though I wouldn't even say it out there, but their whole demeanor as far as like, you know, Angela, she does a lot with the blogs and the emailing, and she does the best she can considering she still runs our, you know, our clothing store, and then basically our, I don't like to really say the word, incarcerated, but I would just say like dealing with different programs that we have out there. You know, a lot of people will say, "Oh, you have the show going on." I'm like, yeah, but at the same time, we have to make sure our livelihood is taken care of in different measures, because this right here was given so people can start getting through walls, right? And unblocking themselves and what we have to give out here, that's given to us to give. But this agent had it was just a little flair, you know, it was just more of this flair. It was like, hey, how many numbers and how many downloads and how many listeners and what time, and I need this and I need, and in order for us to consider confirmation. And when Angela passed that over to me, I was like, wow, you know, the Aries part of me, the fire blazing part, I was kind of telling Trey, I'm telling you, I was like, wait a minute. Because first I was going to go in like, wait a minute, first of all. But then I was like, you know, just simply let them know if you're all about now, even though we have enormous, beautiful, you know, blessings of stats and statistics and analytics and all this stuff that we didn't even really know how to do because we weren't even looking into that spectrum, or monetization or anything. It was kind of like, you know, the message was, if you don't have a clear, concise message to give, then that's pretty much, we just let that go. You know, that's the whole, people have to understand. Like I told them, there could be 150, 200, 300 people coming. And it has been over the last several weeks. And about at least a good 30% of them were saying, hey, no, we can't. Or no, this is not our stilo. Or we're sorry about it, so forth like that. But yeah, the energy that came along with it is more of a, you know, the agent has to be aware that they're putting that energy out for their client as well. Because even though the client looked magnificent, and I would love to have that person on, I couldn't get past the agent part. I couldn't. It was like, oh, I didn't want to put, you know, I just want to throw that out there. But anyways, back to very important things. What else is there? What is there deep in your message of how far you've come and how far you're about to still be shooting for the stars that you want to share with all the listeners and the new listeners coming on here, Trey?
Well, this goes for people with autism or without, anybody. if you have the passion and the drive to do something you want to do, if you want to be an actor, radio host, doctor, lawyer, anything that you want to do in life, pursue that and be persistent. Don't go overboard or don't go over persistent. Stay in your lane and stay on the right track and meet some people that's been in that business for a long time and sort of befriend them or get acquainted with them, and they can teach you the ropes of that business. And don't let no one stop you, but be sure if that's really what you want, because not acting and radio is for everybody, and that can be said about being a lawyer isn't for everybody, being a doctor isn't for everybody. Everyone has their certain niche, their certain quality, and whatever it is, you should definitely pursue that. There's no excuse not to. I started when I was 13, so there's no excuse for...
Yeah. There's no excuse to stop. Age is nothing but a number when you want to play the numbers game in your life, leveling up. So what I will say on my reiteration of that is, Trey's message is very clear, concise, and it also shows and it shares to all of us that no matter what you're dealing with, and I mean, definitely, I don't know the names, and my mind just slips at the moment. Maybe it's because we're here. I'm not sure, but it was Nick something, but he has a wonderful ministry, wonderful conversation, wonderful motivation. It's Life Without Limbs, and you guys can all Google that if you want to. But just people in general, when I see these YouTube videos or I see these different ones that are going out there where people only have their feet to eat with and cook with, or people have to deal with, being stuck bedridden for the rest of their lives, and they're still pushing harder than any of us who claim or are diagnosed with having supreme health. So nothing in the world should stop us from being able to be 1,000,000%, not just 100%. And whatever we want to get into. And it's not just the fact that if you're looking for fame, obviously you're going to have to up that level up a lot from all the competition going on. But it doesn't mean that what you have to offer is any less because of the competition out there. It just means a lot of people have a lot of things to offer, and therefore there's a lot of competition. But other than that, I say never let it be a handicap crutch to where you feel that you're not enough. And don't let anyone ever tell you you're not enough for what you feel that you're enough for. Because the world has a sick way of making you feel sick about the things you shouldn't. And it doesn't, it promotes health when it comes down to the favorite restaurant or the favorite things in your grocery aisle or the doctor visits. But it doesn't promote the health that you need for your mentality and your spirit and your drive, and to not just stay positive, but feel the positivity around you. So we're happy and we're embracing that, Trey. And is there anything else as far as if people want to shout out to you or have anything to say, do you have any way for them to say that? Or you just kind of like, hey, you'll catch me on the sly?
Well, if people are interested in listening to my radio show, you can find it on YouTube, Trey Olds or Trey Olds Radio. Just type either of those in the YouTube search bar, and my channel should pop up with my interviews. And I have a few acting projects I did over the years on there as well. Facebook that's the best way to see what I'm always up to, Trey Olds, and I have another Facebook page. It's the Trey Olds Radio Show, and the show is also streamed on Spreaker. It's on a lot. Let's see, Spreaker, iTunes, Google Play, a whole bunch. Spotify, iHeartRadio. All over it. Yeah. You can find it anywhere. I
know the feeling. Trust me. I'm like, I can't even go past 10 or 7 most times. I'm just like, you know the links. Just come check us out. You have them in your mind before you say it, and then all of a sudden you say it, and it's like drifting there, but you can't spit it out. I understand that. Yeah. So you know what, Trey? We're thankful that you're on here, and if from whatever it is, you've inspired us all at RDDC, and I'm hopeful, and I'm very sure that the RDC family and those who have been on the journey, those who are new to the journey, those who are coming on to the future journey, are going to appreciate this message and so much more. And if you guys all want to check that out, just remember you can always reach out to us at Real Double Dose Channel at yandex.com. That's yandex.com. And we'll also, if you won't have any information, we can forward that over to Trey so he can, get a hold of you when his schedule, or in different time availabilities as well. And you can check that out on Facebook and his YouTube channel at Trey Olds Radio Show. So we just want to thank everyone for being on here. And just remember to you all, sign up for the travel and gift card giveaways, the free vacation giveaways, and so much more. And we also have a wonderful summer vacation package going on where you can all have your little leisure out there in a beautiful spot of your destination. So don't forget about that. And always remember to be the change, feel the passion, embrace the power of that wonderful and magnificent spirit. We love you. You're amazing. Keep tuning in, and we'll be back with you very, very, very soon.